The infamous 2004 NHL lockout was a long and stressful time period for all parties involved, and supporters alike. The two parties, one being the players and the NHLPA represented by Executive Director Bob Goodenow and the NHL represented by Commissioner Gary Bettman, who have met to discuss the expiration of their current deal. The conflict arose when the player union proposed a system that included revenue sharing and a luxury tax. In response, the NHL approached the NHLPA with the concepts of a hard salary cap and a 6 concepts to achieve cost certainty. According to Sports Illustrated, the league only had 11 profitable franchises and a total loss of nearly $273 million in the fiscal year of 2002 to 2003. The lockout lasted from September 16th to 2004 until July 21st, 2005. The league lost a season's worth of revenue, the players lost a season's worth of salary, and the fans lost a season's worth of cheering. The NHLPA was standing firmly on their desire to never accept the concept of a salary cap. Some NHL franchises were actually hoping for a lockout in this situation due to its financial benefits to be gained by having loss of a season, such as the Edmonton Oilers and a few others. The NHL, losing around $273 million, proposed the 6 concepts to achieve cost certainty to teams, which had the same structure as a hard salary cap on players, and many believe that the NHL wanted a hard salary cap structure that lacked revenue sharing so that the league can attempt to gain support of the bigger market teams. The NHLPA had the best alternative to negotiated agreement, also known as BATNA, that was to retain the existing marketplace system the NHL was currently operating on. That system allowed the players to individually negotiate with franchises and the franchise to decide the contract value per player through those negotiations. The NHLPA also used objective criteria in the negotiations by using a Forbes report in 2004 that exposes the NHL for having only half the loss that they claimed. The NHL, on the other hand, had dirty tricks by falsifying numbers and by disguising the concept of hard salary caps within their 6 concepts to try and get the union to agree to terms, which in turn ended up backfiring. What went well with the negotiations was the fact that both sides found a mutual agreement that a decade of a collective bargaining agreement didn't work, and that is what led them to this point. The old structure was outdated and it needed fixing. What went wrong was that both sides had a firm standing on their beliefs. The NHL needed to make financial modifications and failed to find a mutual agreement with the NHLPA. And at first it costed the league a season and the players lost their money's worth for the season. It was the first time an American league has canceled a whole season due to a lockout. After a year-long lockout, the negotiating parties reached an agreement which included a salary cap that would be modified year to year and a guaranteed players 54% of the NHL total revenues as well as a salary floor. This agreement to structure a form of soft salary cap is believed to foster a long-term relationship between players and league due to its ever-adjusting salary cap that fluctuates with the NHL's revenues, keeping transparency between the players and the league.